grab your favorite energy, tea, coffee, drink, snack. Prepare for the ride of your life as Bella mumbles her way through questions. Yo, it didn't fall that time! Okay, so the likelihood that this falls is very high. Until I actually get a real setup and like an actual tripod, you guys are just on my camera stand and you're kind of balanced on there. And I don't know if you can see that. Um, Suddenly everything goes dark, that's why. How very rude of me, I forgot to introduce myself. Hi, I'm Bella. If you know me, you probably know me from Instagram. I'm over there at Isabella_Gray. I create fitness, health, and kind of general chaos content. There's not really a theme to it, but welcome to my Q&A.
You know what I hike for? Rocks.
I went over on my Instagram and I asked you guys to ask me just a whole bunch of different questions, and we got a butt ton of answers. So I want to make a video kind of addressing all of it. That way I don't have to post more on my story. Just for a little bit of background on me, I am 19 years old. I am a certified personal trainer through NASM, and I'm 5'4". Fun fact. I know you guys think I'm a lot taller. Nope, I am 5'4". I grew up in a small town, still live in the same small town, hopefully not much longer. I was homeschooled for the beginning of my life, then I moved to public school. From there, once COVID hit, I schooled myself for a year, skipped ninth grade, went to a hybrid program, and then graduated with a 3.8 GPA and did not show up for graduation and went down the coast instead. So, getting right into it, first question. Where are you from? I'm from Washington State. I live in America, have been in Washington State my whole life. I've traveled a little bit to other states, but I actually haven't left the country even though I have a passport. What do you do for a living? I am a personal trainer. I do not get paid very much. I'm hoping to make a career out of some social media stuff, and yeah, I'm not exactly sure where it's going to lead me, but personal training, I absolutely love it and I adore my clients. But staying at the gym from 11 o'clock to 8 o'clock and getting paid $30 is not, believe it or not my favorite thing. Not my favorite thing. Why do you never post bicep pictures from the front? That is a great question. I don't actually have an answer. Um, Mm, there you go. There you go. I don't have great biceps. I'm not gonna lie. I've got tiny biceps and I like my delts a lot better. So we be posting that a lot more. If you want more flexing content to look at, my TikTok is isabella.grace7 and I do post a lot more of just outfit of the days over there. Usually they'll end up on my Instagram at some point, but if that's more your style other than just the comedy videos, I would go and check that out. Top 3 green and red flags in partners. I'm the wrong I'm the wrong person to ask. I've had one boyfriend. It lasted maybe a week. I was 18. It was not a good relationship. Would not recommend. Um, Top green flags. It's going to be somebody who's adventurous, somebody who is kind, and not just nice, kind. Very important. And what's the last one? What would I say the last one is? Honestly, just someone who's loyal. And that's hard to know because you don't ever know if somebody's going to cheat on you or not. But for me personally, if somebody cheated on me, that would be the end. That would be the end. I know some people are like, "Well, you can come back from it." No. No, you cannot because once a cheater, always a cheater. Top red flags. Top red flags. Um Subaru drivers. narcissists, and people who fake liking the same things you do so that you'll date them. Yeah, those are my top red flags. Also, this is a ski top. This is a ski top. So we're not gonna talk about it. Okay, guys? Do you have guy friends? Yes, I do. The bulk majority of my friends are actually guys. Um I don't do it on purpose. I don't do it on purpose. Just seems to fit best with most of the things I do. And honestly, it's really hard to find good female friends. Um, I do have a few really good friends who are females, but I also have a lot of friends that are really good friends and guys. I tend to have more of a masculine energy in friendships. So usually there's not much of a problem once I find like really good guy friends. It like me being friends with them doesn't really bother their girlfriends, and it doesn't really bother them because I'm not gonna lie, most of my guy friends thought that I was lesbian. How long have you been in the gym for? I've been in the gym now for about 6 months. Back in the gym. I was doing ultra running before, and then I decided that that was really, really not doing well for my body. I moved back into the gym space and I got my personal training certification last December. Been back in the gym since then, so honestly, I'd say that the body recomp did really well. I've lost 30 pounds, and I feel like I've gained quite a bit of muscle and strength. My deadlift went from 45 pounds to 225, and you might be like, that's not very it is. It is to me. Next question. How do you barefoot walk? I got asked this so many times, and honestly, I grew up hating shoes and kind of hating clothes too. So most of the time I would walk around in as little clothes as possible with absolutely no socks or shoes on. It's something you get used to over time. I have grotesque amount of calluses on my feet, and my mom makes fun of me for it all the time. Every single time we go on a road trip and I'll go to put my feet up on the dash, she's like, "Ew, no, get those out of here. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that." And that's fair. That's honestly fair. I can understand it. How do you build your abs? Glad you asked. Glad you asked. Main thing is going to be having a low enough body fat percentage. But if you don't have very much muscle, I would recommend either staying at your maintenance or going on a very lean bulk first. Build as much muscle as possible and then cut back down. That way, you've got a little bit more muscle to keep up your metabolism as you go through that fat loss phase. Best ab exercises are going to be anything that works through a full range of motion. So think cable crunches where you get the full extension at the top, full flexion at the bottom. Dead bugs are great. You're still getting a lot of extension and flexion, but you're also targeting more of your transverse abdominis so that you're kind of bringing your waist in a little bit. Also, reverse crunches, leg raises are one of my favorite for building lower abs. That's just going to be anything where you're hanging and you can put a you can put a dumbbell between your feet and lift your legs up because that's going to target the bottom abs. Have we ever seen anybody with bottom abs and no top abs? No, I didn't think so. Also, I'm really hungry. What's your accent? And I didn't think I had an accent, and I know that's a very American thing to say, but apparently a lot of people think that I'm partially Southern. No, I'm not. I'm not. I believe it or not, just from the PNW. In my free time, I do often like to do impressions. Some of them better than the others, and I feel like maybe that rubs off on my normal vocals a little bit. I don't intentionally try and have a southern accent. It just kind of pops up that way. Um, you know. Are you on peptides? No, I am not. No, I am not. I have not ever took any TRT, Omni, no BCT 157s. Have not been on a GLP-1, terzepeptide, or retatrutide. Not my thing. I'm not saying I would never try it in the future, but as of the moment, they are really expensive and the results almost always backfire as soon as you get off of them. At least for a lot of the GLP, GIP, and glucagon inhibitors. So, also, to anyone who does do that, if you go on peptides for weight loss, please, please, please get a strength routine because you will lose bone density. People have been shown to be getting osteopenia and osteoporosis and sarcopenia from it. So please do yourself a favor and start resistance training if you're going to be on anything like that. Also, track your calories because most likely you will not be getting enough in if you don't track your calories. What is your favorite breakfast? So, I eat the same breakfast every single day, and that is 2 eggs, 200 grams of egg whites, 1/2 cup low fat cottage cheese, 14 grams of Mexican cheese, and then I top that with hot sauce, spinach, sometimes some microgreens or onions or garlic if I'm feeling like adding a little bit of extra stuff, and then also sometimes some mustard. Goes great with toast. I don't like having carbs in the morning. Makes my stomach hurt. For lunch, usually do about 150 grams of sweet potato, add about a 1/2 cup of cottage cheese onto there with, I think, 56 grams of 95% green ground turkey and an egg. Dinner slash dessert, usually I'll have like a yogurt bowl. Buff Unicorn is my inspiration. She's who I want to be when I grow up because I love her energy and I love her yogurt bowls and I love how much food freedom she's got now, especially after um going through what I think quite a few people in the fitness space eventually go through, and it's really hard. Seeing that she has that much food freedom is honestly an inspiration to me. I do track calories. I have not found a way to not track calories without severely messing up my mental health. Um, but yeah, she's my inspiration, and I love her yogurt bowls, and that is what I eat for dinner. Um, Also cottage cheese pancakes, fire, and taco bowls, burger bowls. We've got very few questions left. What are your long-term goals? My long-term goal, hopefully very soon, will be to have enough money to start traveling. I really want to backpack Europe. I want to go hike Machu Picchu. I want to go to Lima and Rio. Rio is my dream. Dude, I love Brazil. I love Brazil so much. Also would love to be able to live in Kauai at some point. Um, I want to travel to New Zealand and Tasmania for sure. Um, yeah, I've got all sorts of places. Malaysia would be cool. Some places in South Africa. I would love the opportunity to go volunteer in places like Thailand or in Australia, Austria, some of the islands in the Philippines. I feel like a lot of locations have gotten very touristy and things like whale sharks, elephants, they're kind of in really bad situations and I'd love the opportunity to go volunteer helping them get out or helping to sort of fix the way that we do tourism for all of these different animals that are either endangered or just deserve to live a better life. Um, but yeah, long-term goals, I definitely want to get into more traveling. I probably won't stay in the gym as often if I did do that. I love the gym, but it's not my long-term goal. It's not where I want to be 10 years down the road. I don't want to still be going to the gym 6 days a week just so I can look jacked. Um so yeah, it'll be interesting to see if I can balance travel with progressive overload, and I think that I can. I've made a lot of really good routines that have kept me fit while hiking. Obviously, if you're on a 5-day backpacking trip, you're not going to be able to go to the gym. So, finding ways to progressive overload with your own body weight or even a tree branch is kind of how you're going to stay consistent. And even if that sounds ridiculous, it's possible. Favorite cheat meal. I'm not gonna lie, I don't do cheat meals very often. It makes me feel sick. It makes me feel bad. It kind of makes me spiral and panic. So I try and stay away from it. However, if I were to have a cheat meal, one is gonna be frozen yogurt. Love frozen yogurt, especially with cookie dough. Two is gonna be cinnamon rolls. Cinnamon rolls. And look, I've got a very specific cinnamon roll that I make. Think, okay, normal cinnamon roll base, right? But then you put chopped apples that you saute in the actual cinnamon roll itself. Roll those up, put honey on the bottom of the dish. This is going to make the bottom get super crispy and ooey gooey. Put the cinnamon rolls in, put some cream on top. Again, makes them more ooey gooey. You can also add powdered milk to the dough, and that'll make them taste even better. Then, when they're done baking, you're gonna put an espresso whiskey cream cheese frosting on the top. And it is so good. It is so good, and I will lay awake at night thinking about these cinnamon rolls. I tell you what. I tell you what. Very last question, the one that was kind of asked pretty often. Other than if I sell feet pics or I'm on OnlyFans. No, I'm not on OnlyFans. No, I do not plan to be. I don't see anything wrong with it. If that's your style, it's not mine. And I would prefer if y'all stopped asking. But you do you. Um Last question is, how did you get started on Instagram? So when I was in all of the school stuff, all of the hybrid programs and everything, I was super antisocial and I would spend my entire day avoiding people as much as possible. Could not talk to people, could not talk to a camera, and I was like, right, something needs to change. Instead of reading some self-help book or trying to go to therapy, I went, it didn't help. They told me I might be bipolar, definitely have depression. Not interested. But I figured, why don't I just start forcing myself to talk to people? So I started filming myself in my car every single day, just yapping to y'all, yapping to my camera. I think I had maybe 180 followers at the time, and they were all family, and they're like, dude, what are you doing? What is this? Why? And I'm like, you know what? You don't have to understand. And it went a lot better than I thought. I'm now at, I think, 34,000 followers on Instagram, which is insane to me. I know that it might not seem like a lot to you, but to me, if literally like a year ago, that seemed impossible. And that seemed like something I would never be able to reach. But now I'm there and I'm hoping to still grow, and I'm hoping to find new ways to create content, new ways to monetize, hopefully new ways to travel and just have a fun time. That is all that I have for you today. This is going to be kind of a slightly short video. If you have any requests for specific videos, whether that be fitness, nutrition, or daily life, please leave a comment below. You can go over to my Instagram at Isabella_Gray, or my TikTok at isabella.grace7 if you want more information or if you just want to see me try and throw myself off cliffs and have fun. Well, y'all go eat some protein. I think I'm hungry. I'm gonna go eat something. I'm gonna go eat something. Thank you guys for joining me. I hope you have a great day, and I will see you in the next one. It didn't fall! It didn't fall the whole time! Look at that!